Hello, how's it going? Welcome to Drop Frames. Still not used to the 60 FPS intro. It's very high FPS. Also, there's some weird audio stuff. We'll get it worked out. It's fine. Hello, welcome to the show. Video games are back with a vengeance. There's a ton of shit coming out, already out, soon to be out. News is everywhere. Cohh's playing a real life simulator and lost someone to the flu earlier today. In RimWorld, he's still broken up about it. Can't even talk. Can't even look himself in the camera. It's intense. It's been a morning.
Between so my main colonist died. I'm still, so what I did is I built her a limestone sarcophagus. I surrounded that with limestone tiles, and I built some marble columns and roofed it in. So I gave her a proper send off, but yeah, I tell you.
Well, it happens. It happens. Was that your first colonist? You said your main colonist. What is that?
It was my queen. It was my royalty queen. She had like a psychic implant and some abilities, and like, and the worst part is, for those that didn't see it, like she got the flu. Of all the things, she died of the flu, and her immunity was at like 98% when she died of the flu. And the only reason it happened is because I stupidly turned off bed rest earlier because everyone got mechanites and they were just spending all day in bed. And oh man, it was tough. It was tough.
Some of that stuff I understood. Some of that stuff I didn't. But that's just RimWorld in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's just RimWorld things.
Yeah,
like RimWorld things.
Yeah,
right.
That sounds terrible, man. I mean, it's just what was the name of the person that died?
Sudesu?
Oh, okay, that's horrible.
It's tragic.
It was. I thought it was a joke worth making twice.
Yeah. No, you weren't going to provoke me twice. I've learned. All right. I've learned not to be provoked. At least by that gimmick, because it already happened once. So, yeah. Well, I guess we'll start with the latest breaking news. E3's canceled. At least the physical E3. It's gone. Yeah, I guess we'll look at I haven't read this yet. This is what I woke up to. I think it was like an hour or so ago when it was officially canceled. Here's the news straight from E3. I don't think I'm going to read this. I could read this full thing, at least the bit of it. It says, after careful consideration with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020 scheduled for June 9th through the 11th in Los Angeles. Following increased and overwhelming concerns about the COVID-19 virus, we felt this was the best way to proceed during an unprecedented global situation. We are very disappointed that we were unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters, but we know it's the right decision based on the information we have today. Our team will be reaching out directly to exhibitors and attendees with information about providing full refunds. We are also exploring options with our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. Updates will be shared on e3expo.com. We thank everyone who shared their views on reimagining E3 this year. We look forward to bringing you E3 2021 as a reimagined event that brings fans, media, and industry together in a showcase that celebrates the global video game industry.
Yeah.
You think E3 2021 happens?
Like,
I don't know, man.
We took your dog to a farm upstate. Don't worry. He's running and laughing and playing. He loves it up there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that dog is coming back, man. I really don't think that dog is coming back.
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be tough. I mean, it was already on the ropes. So now it's going to have to like recover from basically losing an entire year of sales and partnership, progression, and it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah. I mean, not only that, they have to recover from the fact that the entire event this year seemingly will be digital, and it'll probably, except for the people that go there, probably will be kind of similar to the experience that we always have anyways. So then you look at all the names. Potentially, yeah. Then you kind of look at, companies seeing that they get similar response, and maybe even this year a bigger response because it is such a unique situation that why the fuck would we go back and spend millions of dollars on a physical show when we could just do it digitally again? I don't know. It'll be weird for sure. I mean, it already is weird. We were talking, me and Zeke were talking about it before the show. It feels like a relative died uh, this morning with E3 being canceled. I mean, everything's getting canceled. TwitchCon was canceled. TwitchCon Europe was canceled, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But yeah, it's rough out there. The Boston Marathon, though, still going forward. Not the Boston Marathon, but the St. Patty's Day Marathon is, yeah. Hopefully that gets canceled pretty soon.
Well, that's for drinking. Like, you're not going to cancel that shit.
Not for video games. And
yeah, video games are one thing, but like drinking is drinking. So you got to keep the St. Patty's Day shit going.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they won't cancel Cinco de Mayo or, any other day that there's an excuse to like just get obliterated.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened this morning. Some other companies are out there talking about their stuff. Ubisoft put out a tweet, said the health and the well-being of the teams, players, and partners is our top priority. So while we're disappointed, we fully support the ESA's decision to cancel E3 2020. E3 is and always will continue to share a moment where we come together as a community and share our love of games. We're exploring other options for a digital experience that will allow us to share all the exciting news that we have planned. Stay tuned for more info. So that's probably going to be the general response that we get from most of these companies for that stuff. But
oh my God, I didn't even think about it.
What's that?
God, Burning Man might be canceled. No, please don't cancel.
What are the dates on Burning Man?
Burning Man's not till the end of August.
The big hope, by the way, is that COVID might be seasonal. So similar to their, being like flu seasons and stuff like that. There is a hopeful chance that as the everything warms up, that we'll see stuff start to go down, hopefully significantly, which could impact a lot of stuff. But we'll see. Of course, we don't know anything about that yet.
Yeah,
so,
I have not been following the health issues of it or the science.
Oh no, everyone's saying not true at all. I didn't say that's how it was. You can't say it's not true when I said they're hoping it will be. I'm not saying it is.
There is hope. Yeah.
They're saying that people are hoping it will be.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, we're obviously not scientists. We don't follow that shit. But
yeah, it may not do anything. Hell, it could get worse.
Well, the cases in like China have started to go down, right? Like this is going to quickly, people will think that we're talking political very soon. But they've gone down in China, right? So that it's starting to get curbed over there. Do you have any information on that? Have you guys seen that information?
I don't know about that.
Okay. All right. Let's just move on then. Let's not talk about actual real world events.
Yeah.
Because we know nothing about it.
There's COVID everywhere. We can keep it off the show as much as we can.
Yeah. Oh, how excited are you? I'm sure you've gotten this in your streams, Co. Like people saying COVID with your name and shit.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You should have seen it when the guy died of the flu in RimWorld a few minutes ago. Oh my God.
That's the first joke that came to my mind.
It's a coronavirus. It's not even a flu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wash your goddamn hands.
There was a funny side of this E3 cancellation, at least story-wise. Apparently 5 days ago, a webcam sex worker had someone in their chat say that E3 was going to be canceled and like tweeted it, and no one paid attention to it. And then it got canceled. So that's kind of a funny thing. That the news broke via a webcammer.
Dude, there's 3 people you tell all your deepest, darkest secrets to: your therapist, your lawyer, and your fucking your favorite stripper or sex worker or whatever. Like those are the 3 people you tell everything to.
That's how I work.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So yeah, I don't know if we have anything else to say on E3. It sounds like they're still gonna have a digital event, so we'll still cover that. Zeke will actually be here this time. So we'll have a full-fledged drop frames as long as there's not a Twitch digital coverage thing. I don't know. Like it's gonna be a weird time when we get to June. But, yeah.
What are we even covering? Like who's gonna I know Xbox is gonna do something.
I mean, it sounds like everyone's still gonna go forward with like the week of announcements. I'm sure EA will have.
We'll still have the showcases and everything.
Sounds like it. I mean, Ubisoft is saying like they're going to plan a digital event. I think most companies will follow.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't think it needs to be like in a brick and mortar stadium or convention center or anything like that. I'm totally fine with it being just a broadcast thing. I want all of the people to be there, like all the big names, to actually just put forth something during this time. So we have like one time a year where it's like the Super Bowl for video games, and not. And yes, I know the Video Game Awards might be becoming that or whatever, but
yeah,
I want those to be separate things. And maybe that's just like, a futile hope, but I'd really like E3 to continue to be like the place where we all gather around like the Super Bowl and watch and wait and like, oh, I hope I see this. What do you think Sony's bringing this year and all that kind of stuff. I love that, the speculation, the just like 3-4 days where just 100% video game talk. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've never been there physically, but I assume it's literally rampant with 100% video game talk. Like every corner that you turn on the street, there's just people talking about video games. So I'm sure that's a little bit different, but for people that cover it remotely like us, I don't think it's going to be that different. There just won't be a crowd where Keanu walks out and everyone freaks out, right? Like that won't be there, but hopefully they'll try to capture
Maybe it
that
will
magic.
just be a small stage this time.
I don't know. That might be even weirder if they just have like only employees in the audience. Can you imagine the BioWare conference with only ESO fans and no one else just screaming?
I imagine it'd be a lot like the Devolver Digital conference, which is like a recorded video, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it'll probably be VOD. Yeah. I don't think it'll be live.
There'd be laugh tracks and all that kind of shit, like filmed before a live studio audience.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I bet you Devolver's going to do something real fun with this.
I'm sure.
Like,
yeah. I mean,
I bet it's just going to, yeah.
I think they already did. They were the ones to break that E3 was going to be canceled last night. They were out there saying like E3 will be canceled tomorrow, most likely, or whatever the tweet was. So I think that in itself is pretty funny.
Was that the first like believable source that you got? Because it was for me.
Yeah, well, someone retweeted it last night, and then a bunch of reporters were out there saying like, yeah, we've been hearing this all day, and it kind of started to just tumble forward with different confirmations from people from the ESA and different corporations and all that stuff. And then this morning was when they confirmed it. I think Jason Schreier was the one that kind of put it out there before maybe the big announcement. I'm not 100% sure of the sequence of events that happened. So yeah. Do you think they dodged a bullet this year with everything they've been talking about changing and being this like, and that thing that leaked a while back where they're going to include more influencers into it? And you think they got lucky in the sense of they were going to kind of start their own demise and this might give them a year to reset? Or is it just bad all around?
I bet there's quite a few people once the official announcement was made that E3 was canceled. There are people running around going like, I don't know how we're going to pull this off. I don't know how they can put this. What? Oh God. Thank God. Oh God. Oh, so good. Okay.
Yeah. Cohen, what are your thoughts on it? If you have any?
I think that honestly, E3 is in a period where it really needed to do well. And I think that they were trying to do well, just in kind of a misguided way. It's going to be interesting to see if the formula changes or if it's just going to be delayed. Because there was a lot of negative feedback across that first thing, but they seem to be going ahead with it anyway. So I don't know, man. I mean, the outlook has ever since we saw what their plans were for it, the outlook has not been super great.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, this just kind of makes that even worse.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. We didn't even get a chance to talk about this news because E3 is canceled now, but on March 5th, the creative directors of E3, itmeJP, pulled out. So I don't know if that was, and we'll probably never know, but I don't know if that was a result of them trying to get out before it was fully canceled, or if they were just going to be out regardless and they just didn't want to be there. It's kind of interesting with Jeff Keighley's tweets where he pulled out of the big live show that he does, stating that I forget the exact words, but something like he doesn't like where it's going or something like that. There was a couple of choice quotes from that whole situation, but sounds like we might never get to see what it was going to be, unless they go forward with it next year. But we'll see how that goes. I hope there's another physical E3 next year, but it's gonna be a weird thing, skipping a year. And once everyone sees that the event's probably fine, if it's all digital, it might not go through. So
yeah.
Zeke, we didn't.
E3.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I think you might actually be talking about it.
Well, E3 was the place that it was the last, since Twitch Studios was dissolved, it was the last like place that I was guaranteed like I could go there, do the like hosting, interviewing of like all the video game people, but also it was the one place that was almost guaranteed to have like the biggest names that we could possibly get and talk about, everything that was coming out. And I'm gonna miss the opportunity, like, to meet like the legends of the industry and shit. Like last year, I met fucking John Romero, I met Suda51, like I met all kinds of like legends of the industry, and it breaks my heart that that opportunity is dissolving and probably might not ever come back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's, to speak about kind of all of the contractors that go to E3, like financially, I'm sure a lot of people with all these events being canceled are going to take a huge hit. People that are, constant stage host or booth workers or any of that stuff. Some of it's union stuff, but there are people that get paid to do that stuff full time. Now it's affecting them on a global scale because there's not really any more conventions, at least for the next foreseeable months to occur. So definitely sucks in that regard. But we can kind of loop in the TwitchCon EU discussion here because that was also canceled last Friday. It sounds like at least the sentiment on Twitter was that a lot of influencers are still going to go and just do like smaller meetups. Zeke, I know you were planning on going to TwitchCon EU. Is that kind of the case that you've seen amongst other TwitchCon goers?
There's a few people who just want to go to Amsterdam, like since they already bought the tickets and have their hotels booked and stuff. But it's definitely starting to become a time will tell kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Just because like you spend thousands of dollars to go overseas, and it just seems like obviously you're just like, well, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, non-refundable plane ticket. I already paid for the fucking Airbnb, so I'm just like, I guess I eat that, take it in the keister, I guess. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Part of you goes like, fuck the goddamn virus. I'm going anyway because I goddamn paid for this.
Right. And
it's not cheap. So, but there's also a part of me going like, maybe don't go.
Yeah.
So I'm still on the fence about it as far as just going to Amsterdam. But yeah, if I do end up going, I will probably like arrange like a meetup or something like that.
Yeah. It's pretty I guess scary / interesting is how I'd describe it right now, how cheap tickets are to go anywhere in the world. Like you can fly internationally for I think a couple $100 right now. And like hotels are dirt cheap because no one's going. So
yeah,
in a weird
I
way,
had
go to a nice place for cheap or get coronavirus. Like,
I had a resub yesterday actually, and he was like, "Hey, this is gonna be my last sub for a while because I'm going to travel into East Asia for the next little bit." And I was like, "Oh," like everyone in chat was kind of like, "Oh man, like good luck. May not be the best time." And he goes, "Well, you'd think that, but actually every penthouse upgrade is like almost free.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and do that." And he's like taking advantage of all of this craziness right now.
Yeah,
he sounds pretty optimistic.
I guess if you're young and like not susceptible to the virus in a grand way, I guess I don't know. That's on a. I'm not going to say do that. It's still pretty scary because you might spread it even more.
Yeah, that's the whole concern, is going to a place, you living through it, but who you bring it back to, or who you give it to if you were to contract it or whatever.
Yeah.
That is one of
the reason why it's still like it's not like as big a concern. It's for me personally is because if I come back here, I'm not spreading it to anyone because I never leave my fucking house.
Well, yeah, streamers in this situation are great for a lot of reasons. One, we don't leave the house. Two, everyone else is going to not leave the house and have to watch streams potentially. So business might pick up in the streaming world, especially on things like Netflix and those type of services for sure.
And me and my family are in the opposite boat of Zeke, where, you know, both me and Lena's parents come over all the time to help watch the kids and everything.
Oh,
so,
man.
and you know, my mom is like mid 70s. So it's like she is right in the target group of people that are the mortality rate is like is big. So yeah, it's scary, man. It's very scary for a lot of us. And also another thing to keep in mind is you don't necessarily have to be old to be at a huge risk. I mean, anyone that's immunocompromised is at a huge risk right now. Like especially if they're going through any treatments for anything that may suppress their immune system. Like, you know, it's bad. It's bad.
For sure. I think was there anything else that got canceled by the coronavirus this week? I feel like it's just canceling everything.
It'd almost be quicker to talk about what isn't.
Yeah. Right. It's
well, there's
everything.
TwitchCon EU.
Yep.
E3.
Yep.
South by Southwest.
Right. They canceled Coachella yet? Is that still a thing?
Oh, Coachella? Coachella got canceled. Okay.
Did it? Oh, it did get. Okay, it did. I know that it's postponed, I guess is the thing.
Man, sales of Molly are just plummeting.
They're dropping.
Plummeting.
Yeah, 100%.
Like they're gonna have like bulk sales, like going out of business sales.
They're just gonna revisit the formula and make Super Molly, and then next year's gonna be even crazier. It's gonna be great. That's the plan. WrestleMania still a go in Tampa, Florida in a few weeks. Okay, that'll probably get canceled. When is Gamescom happen? What month is that? Is that summer? That's like more fall, right?
I think Gamescom is in August, isn't it?
Okay, that's Something August. Like that? So we're still a couple.
I don't know though.
Yeah, we're still months from
July and August. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's a website called isitcanceledyet.com.
Oh. That's right.
E3.
There you go.
Las Vegas casino buffets. Pope Francis's public appearances. Bernie and Biden rallies. South by. Minecraft festival. Aww.
I don't know why that says Neo 2 demo. I'll fix it here in a sec. But yeah. It's all what Burning Man? No. Microsoft Build? No.
Burning Man's still a ways away, so we'll see.
What is WWDC?
What would Dick contract?
Yeah, what do you guys think WWDC is? Wait, hold on.
Developer conference? Something developer conference?
The Olympics have to be canceled, right? Like, there's no way they don't cancel the Olympics.
Oh, it's Apple. WWDC is Apple conference.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Gotcha. They got to cancel.
Dude, not canceling the Olympics seems real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems weird. Really weird.
Does it seem weird though? Because the Olympics is arguably like next to maybe the what? Sorry, I can't even remember. What's the biggest like football around the world? What's that? The biggest tournament where all the countries
World
compete?
Cup?
Is it the World Cup?
Yeah.
Okay. Like arguably, the World Cup and the Olympics are the most globally like watched events.
Yeah.
And the cities who like apply for it are at, like years in advance. They build billions of dollars worth of stuff. And it's just like they're holding out the like, is there any way we can still do this? Because we spent a lot of money. Like we built new stadiums for this.
Yeah.
We are only accepting visitors that already have the virus.
Yeah.
There you go.
You will be tested, and only if you are confirmed will you be allowed in. And then you can all just be sick together. There we go. Boom. And if you really want to go in, they'll just inject you with it right there at the door.
Wait a minute. So it goes from like Coachella, Carlos Santana tour, 2020 Olympics, and then it says Harvard University has been canceled.
So Harvard said they do not want they're not accepting students after spring break. They said, don't come back. And they also kicked everyone out of the dorms as well. So they're going to a fully online university.
There you go.
Which is good, but also like they're flat out kicking people out of the dorms. Like some people don't have
a place to go.
They don't have a place to go, right? So like that's kind of fucked. I think that there's like an asterisk that says like talk with the dean of whatever that is, dean of housing or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of rough for sure.
You gotta imagine there's some people like, I'm from Norway. Where do I go?
Yeah, what the fuck do you want me to do? I
came here to go to school and I don't have family.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah. My favorite part about all of it is the amount of like help articles that are popping up of like how to work from home. And I just sit there and like cackle the entire time as I'm reading through stuff. Because some of it's like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years. It's all true information, but like we were trained for this. This is our time. All right. Streamers rise up, I think is what we should be saying on this show. Goes on. He's thinking. He hasn't said no yet.
And then we'll get banned from Reddit.
Okay, we're banned from Reddit. Damn it. Damn.
Some of these things are like, I'm just scrolling through. Some of these things are so strange. You know what? Well, they've canceled free samples at Costco. No.
Wow. Damn.
The other thing is, what's that green coat from Amazon?
I have no idea. If you click on the event, no. I mean, there's also like Lauren's 92nd birthday party. It's on here. So I don't know if that's like a Facebook.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah,
I was
Lauren's 92nd birthday party.
Oh man, I got a suit and everything.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. The Apocalypse.
Oh man,
is canceled by the way at the very bottom.
Oh.
So that's good.
Good.
Elba's still helping us out there. That's good. That's good. He's doing.
Dude, that is a pretty great website. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that they just throw in like, oh, poor Lauren.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 92. He might not have another birthday, so like, that's really heartbreaking.
Pretty rough. Pretty rough indeed. I guess moving on to some lighter, more exciting gaming news. Horizon Zero Dawn was finally confirmed for the PC for a summer 2020 release, and I think we're all potentially going to be replaying it like that. I never played DLC, so that'll be a first time for me. But that did I was hoping they were going to put it like a video.
The DLC was coming out too.
DLC is looped into it. Yeah, on Steam it says everything that's in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think some of the like cosmetic armor and stuff too is also in there. Is part of the package, but that'll be really good. That'll look really good. I wish they put out a video. I saw this morning that there's a screenshot that people are thinking that they're confirming ultra widescreen support, like 21:9 resolution on that. So
Wow,
pretty cool stuff. Yeah, that game would be remarkable in that, without a doubt.
Well, I mean, even with the slight limitations on the PlayStation, it was still one of the more gorgeous games I had ever played.
Dude, yeah, the snow.
I can't wait to see what they come up with.
I remember talking about the snow on this show for a long, almost as much as we talked about the God of War snow. It was God of War snow before God of War had snow. That's what it was.
Did we talk about that? I thought we talked about that with Adam Coble because
he
was all about the photo mode.
Yeah, you might have been right. That might have been on Court of Swords, or that might have been on here. I forget.
Okay.
Sometimes the pre-show and Court of Swords and this blend together, so I forget. But yeah. That'll be really cool. They didn't put an actual date to it. It just says summer of 2020. Along the same lines of stuff coming out in summers of 2020, the Ghost of Shishimi story trailer got posted, and that has a release date on.
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. You want to watch? Should we? Yeah. Have you seen it, Zeke? We can watch it. The Ghost of Shishimi story trailer. We can definitely watch it.
Ghosts of Tsushima, right? Sashimi is something you order at a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, sashimi.
Oh,
delicious.
What is sashimi?
Sashimi is raw fish.
Yeah.
Oh, so any raw fish is sashimi?
I think sashimi is just straight up raw fish, no rice.
Oh, okay.
And nigiri is what I like, which is raw fish on a bed of rice.
Also a cosplayer.
Yeah.
On a bed of rice.
That's
very true.
She probably does have a photo. It's probably true.
Wait, other way.
Oh,
Go, don't leave me hanging.
Good job.
Perfect.
Our
Perfect.
My
hands
hands
squeezed
are so
into
much
each-
bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh,
that. It's like a baby's
Oh my
hand.
god! Don't do that. That looks weird. Yeah, we can watch the
Dude,
trailer.
I'm gonna set. Okay. What we need to do off stream, Zeke, is I'm gonna get like a piece of wood right at the boundary so I can like actually hit it. We gotta make that happen one day.
That's a great idea. I think I'll do the same.
Let's watch this. You guys haven't seen it yet. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Jin. When we fight,
I'm gonna big screen this.
we face our enemy head on. And when we take their life, we look them in the eye with courage and respect. This is what makes us samurai. There must be thousands of them. We will face death and defend our home.
We do what we must, Lord Sakai. That is why you and I are both survivors.
I am samurai.
No, you are more than that. You are the ghost. Convince your people to join me, and I will give them peace.
We will never serve you.
Love how Tenshui it
Samurai
looks.
fight like that. It was nothing.
Yeah.
You're more than a samurai. He is a vengeful spirit, back from the grave to slaughter the Mongols.
If you continue down this path, you will be no better than the Mongols.
I trained you to fight with honor.
Honor died on the beach. The Khan deserves to suffer.
I am samurai. But I will sacrifice everything for my home.
Ooh,
Looks pretty good.
that looks pretty good.
June 26th.
Damn.
Now,
Ooh.
the first thing I noticed about that, of course, and I probably mentioned last time if we looked at a trailer before that, but English?
Yeah.
Was it made for English, or is that just like
I think they've said they're going to include like Japanese voice acting in it. It's a Western
Okay.
studio. It's Sucker Punch, the people that made Infamous, I think.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But I think they're going to have Japanese VO on it.
And listen, I'm not saying like it's the voice acting is great. Like the English voice acting that I've seen so far is great. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
What I am saying is it just looks a little funky. I don't mind dubs for like video games that are more anime, more animated,
Yeah.
so to speak, like Persona, like I'm playing Persona right now. See, I don't mind it for that because it's not realistic. It's not as realistic as something like that is. Like that looks more like more human than it is animation. And it just looks funky to me to see like ancient civilizations that aren't speaking their native language.
Interestingly enough, if you remember playing through, have you played through Neo, Zeke?
I played several hours of it. I never played all the way
So-
through it, but
whenever you loot things, there's always like that Japanese voice that says like a line and then it subtitles it. In Neo 2, all of that can be in English. So talking about kind of sounding weird, like every time you loot somebody, there's like an English dude, like, oh, I thought I could use a sword. Turns out I can't. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh God, what was I watching? Someone was doing a. Oh, I think it was a speed run. I think I was watching like a GDQ or something, and they were playing. Oh, come on! What? I can't believe I'm blanking on this. What won Game of the Year this year?
Control?
Game Awards?
Yeah, Game Awards. Sekiro. There you go. Thank you.
Sekiro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't know where you were going with that. Sorry,
they were doing the Sekiro speed run, and they did it all in Spanish, and it was so funny because like the guy, like at the very end, he's gonna like take the guy's head off or something like in one battle, and he looks at him and he goes, "Adios." Like it was so fucking weird because I'm used to seeing it in Japanese, and it's a realistic looking game and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying like I'm not a subs over dubs like fucking warrior. I'm just saying like it looks a little bit funky.
It doesn't bother me one bit at all.
Yeah, not only does it not bother me, it honestly, I really also like how they clearly have taken a lot of time and effort to make it so the faces match the English coming out. Like that is when it's kind of like okay for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's like when it's cool. I mean, I have issues watching dub stuff on Netflix in other languages when their face is just completely saying not even close to what's coming over the speakers. So yeah, that stuff's pretty cool. It makes it a lot better.
Yeah. Trying to see.
I think it's akin to like an anachronism in any video game. Like you're playing a game in the 1800s and there's a piece like a car or a piece of scenery that doesn't belong there because it's in the future that hasn't been invented or something like that. Like it's just one of those hinky things. I'm just like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I don't know how many. We probably won't watch too many trailers because we got so much stuff to talk about. But there's a handful of stuff out there. There's the Neo launch trailer. There's the Amnesia Rebirth announcement trailer. There's the Doom Eternal personalize your Doom Slayer now with Twitch Prime activation trailer.
Dude,
hopefully more Mick
I gotta
Gordon.
say,
yeah,
that unicorn Doom guy is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Code, Doom actually put out last week, I think it was a 4-minute Twitter video of Mick Gordon making the music. They have a death metal choir. It's a really good video. If you haven't seen it yet. It's
what's super cool is, I don't know if you guys remember, like last year, anyway, yeah, it sounds super awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's been in production for a while.
It is.
So there's like some people in it that are like really big names that have kind of had a chance to pop in and do it. So I cannot wait. I'm gonna get that soundtrack so fast.
It's gonna be really good. Yeah. One of in the video itself, one of the guys that was, I think, part of a Mongolian death metal band, who can do like a crazy voice, or I guess who could do a crazy voice. He passed away sometime this year, and I remember when that happened, he talked about how like one of the last things they worked on was the Doom like soundtrack. So yeah, Barry spamming the thing in chat. Thank you, Barry, for spamming 5 times instead of just linking a singular moment. Yeah, that is very worth watching for sure. I don't know if there's any other news. We got a bunch of games to talk about, so we might just kind of jump to that stuff.
Who was the other one? Oh yeah, they brought in some player. They also brought in some of the members of Static X, and I think they're going to use some of the vocals of Wayne Static in there too, which is really cool.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, the Static X guy was in that video as well. There's a lot of cool people.
When you brought up heavy metal choir, like I just pictured like 30 to 40 guys that look a lot like me, probably going in there and just going, all right. Like the conductor, he's got his tails on. He's like,
that's pretty much what it is. Like Mick Gordon's in there directing them. They actually split. It was 50-50. I think it was 6 men, or maybe 12 men, 12 women. It was 50-50 split though. They had a
Oh, that's
representation.
basically
of
it, really.
Yeah. But it's literally that. Mick is just sitting there like, you know, doing exactly what you just said, conducting them, and they're sitting there chanting, and then they play a little bit of the song at the end. It's good.
Okay, I guess I gotta watch this then. That sounds like a terrible beauty.
Oh, there's nothing terrible about it. It's fantastic. It's fucking sick. Like they're chanting. The song sounds incredible. The music sounds ridiculous with the vocals into it. It'll be really good. Seems like he's gonna have another great year of Doom music. So I'm even more excited. It got me more excited for the game than I was for the game itself. I'm more excited for the music, I think, at this point. It'll be good.
I think like the only comparison that I can make is that Hellblade 2 with the high lung.
Yeah, that was sick.
That shit. That's great.
Yeah. We can kind of move into talking about stuff we played. Yesterday, Call of Duty announced their new BR. I have not streamed this yet, but people are probably wanting to hear about it. It's a BR game. It's from Call of Duty. I think that's probably all we need to say.
Is this out? Are people playing this?
It came out yesterday. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What people are actually? I couldn't tell by my entire Twitter for the last 24 hours.
Yeah. I feel like this whole thing was Activision's attempt at copying what Apex did last year. Because Apex came out, I think they just passed a year in this exact same way, where it was kind of a stealth launch out of nowhere. They had a shit ton of streamers sponsored to play it. It's free to play. It's got a bunch of new things in it. And it seems to be doing quite well. It's the first, I think, ever, like, free Call of Duty experience. The only thing that's not free is that it's 112 gigabytes to download. So it took me a fucking super long time to download it. But yeah, it's fun. They've got some new BR stuff in it, or new 2BR stuff in it. When you die, you get sent to a prison and captured. It's called the Gulag. And it's in a 1v1 match in like a super small arena, and you have a pistol. And if you win, you just drop back into the match. Like you just parachute back in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's kind of a cool comeback way.
It is kind of cool.
People drop money, and in that money, they can, you can spend it for a myriad of different things. One of them is you can spawn your teammates back for 4,500 cash, which is not that hard to get. You can also spawn a loadout drop, which then you can just straight up walk over to and buy your loadout that you've used in Call of Duty before. So you just get like a fully set up gun, perks, all that stuff, like immediately. And sometimes even when you drop back in, you can just walk up to it and grab it. So that's kind of fun. It seems like they have enough twists on like a normal BR game that it will stick around. It is quite chaotic in the fact that there's 150 players in the game. And when you have that many chances to come back, like, you don't get much time to think or breathe. You're just fighting nonstop. I played with Anthony Confan. I got really carried by Anthony Confan and Grims last night. We won like 2 or 3 games. But when we did win, it was like we were never not fighting. We were always being shot at or shooting at someone for a pretty long time, because games last a decent amount of time with 150 players in them with all those comeback potentials. So it's fun. It's more BR. I don't think it's the type of game where if you're a solo player, you're going to want to jump in. Like, there is no solo queue. You're always teamed up with 2 other people.
So it's always 3.
It's always 3. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Apex.
The other thing that's kind of interesting is I never played multiplayer for the most recent Call of Duty. I only played the single player. So I was level 1. And so the guns that you can create for your loadouts are tied to your multiplayer rank, just like any other Call of Duty. And in the 4 hours that I played last night, I went from level 1 to level 34. I don't know what max level is. Maybe it's like, I want to think that it's 90 or 100 or something like that. You can totally play alone and not fill, but you're going to have a shit time. You're going to have a terrible time, chat. I'm saying you want to play with the group. It behooves you to play with the group. It's 55 then, 155%. Okay, gotcha. But the thing that kind of sucked about having a level 1 account, which most of these free-to-play players will do, is you are unable to even make a custom loadout to level 4. There's default loadouts that you can get, but you lose kind of that that edge that people that have played Call of Duty, this current iteration of it, have, where they have all of these guns unlocked, they have all of this stuff unlocked where they can just like get a better kit right from the get-go faster. So it's got kind of a curve to it in that sense. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed with it. Enjoyed my time with it. I'll probably end up streaming it maybe later tonight. I got to end up finishing Ori 2. And I might get a little bit of a break in terms of other games to play. But yeah, it's fun. The guns feel great. The shooting feels great. It runs fantastic. I never dropped below 120 FPS last night at max graphics. The maps are super vertical. There's like giant skyscraper hospitals. There's giant stadiums that you can go in. It seems pretty cool. And it's free. So if you're at all interested in grabbing it, start the download before you go to sleep one night. Cause it's 112 gigs or something like that. And you can play it the next day. So, and then I guess with that, I brought up Ori. So let's talk.
Well, let's not move on to this. Yeah, just yet.
Sure.
I want to know how it compares to other BRs as far as enjoyment. Like, can you compare it? Like, can you put it in like a list of like, is it better than PUBG? Is it better than Apex? Is it like that? Can you rate it like that? Because I know it's difficult because it's different, but like,
yeah, I don't know if I'm able to rate it because I haven't touched those games in years at this point.
Right. I'm just wondering if you can remember your enjoyment factor.
Yeah. I mean, I think PUBG was just always, at least when I played it, it always just felt a little jank. Like this feels like a proper BR that's polished, like put out by Activision with the Call of Duty name on it. PUBG's always felt like slightly jank to me, just in everything about it. There's no building or anything, so I can't really compare it to Fortnite. I know that I've seen a couple like main FPS streamers saying that they're mixed about it right now, and I was trying to like figure out why. And I couldn't.
Yeah, Summit posted that earlier.
Yeah. Summit was one of them that was talking about that. Like Anthony and them seemed to enjoy it last night. We really need a couple of days, I think, to see how they all think about it. Because the first thing that happens when you play a new BR game as a streamer is you get a giant influx of viewers. So of course you're going to enjoy the game. That's how streaming works. Where if you have a shit ton of viewers and you're playing a new FPS, you're probably going to have a pretty great time. It's when those people start to trickle out and you go back to normalcy around the stream that you can kind of figure out if the game's actually worth the shit. And so I'd give it like a week or so to really formulate that opinion for those type of people. For me, who knows how much time I'll actually spend with it. So
Summit said it apparently he had some issues with the sounds and the fact that there aren't footstep sounds and stuff like. He's been playing a lot of EFT lately, so.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, I was talking.
What if some of that bled over?
I was talking to Anthony about that, and I was like, "So what's it like swapping from, Escape from Tarkov to this?" And he goes, "I mean, it's in one thing, it's great, but it's taken me a lot to switch my mind off of like a simulator type shooter to like a super arcadey shooter." Because they're two different complete beasts.
They play completely differently.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing.
Yeah. So again, I think by next week we'll have a better idea. It felt great when I shot stuff. Like the net code seems to be okay. In terms of, I think that was kind of one of the bigger issues with Blackout, but I didn't play that game for more than 30 hours, so I'm not really the best equipped to talk about it. But yeah, the other thing, like the thing I'll keep saying at the end of the day, like it's a free game. So if you're at all interested, download it and check it out. It costs you nothing except the bandwidth to download it, which is kind of costly.
Can you go into a little bit about how they're making their money?
There are some in-game. That's one thing I didn't really understand at all last night. I mean, there's microtransactions in terms of like skins and stuff that you can buy. But Anthony and Grims like to move fast, both in game and out of game. So once you're out of game, you're immediately queued. And so like in the 5 seconds that I have to kind of like click around things and figure it out, I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, okay. Anyways, like we're back in the match. Like I couldn't even make operators or like custom classes. I just didn't have time. Yeah, they are selling a season pass to it. I don't know how much that is. And they have like in-game currency, just like they do in the entirety of Call of Duty. I think think it's like $100 for their biggest buy-in, for 13,000 coins, and I think most of the skin packs were like 2,200 coins or 1,000 coins for some of that stuff. But I assume that's where they're going to make their money, is getting cool custom skins of badass looking people that you can play as, with like, you know, skull mask and that type of shit. And it looks very nice. Like the game isn't ugly by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very pretty game. So
I want to go to a museum with Anthony Ingram's.
Why's that? Oh, because they're just fast.
That's a beautiful piece of art. Next. Oh, I like that sculpture. It's really nice. Okay, next.
Yeah, I wonder if they approach their life that way. Where they're just like super speedy about everything, you know? It's a good question. It's a good question. So yeah, that's Call of Duty Warzone. I will probably try to stream it before Friday, before the new PoE League comes out, because after that I won't be able to play anything.
Oh, this is interesting. Chris, the editor. Apparently, PlayStation players do not need the PlayStation Plus subscription, but Xbox players need Xbox Live Gold.
Right.
So it's free on PlayStation, but it's not free on XBO.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's free to download on Xbox Live, but you do need an Xbox Live subscription for sure. That's one of those things where like you kind of wish Microsoft would make that announcement and change it, but they might talk and save that talking point until they announce their new console. So it's all part of that one big announcement. They definitely need to change that though. Like that's a sign of the times. Like PlayStation's moved forward and done away with that. Xbox needs to probably move forward and do away with that. But on the flip side, Xbox Live Game Pass is still the greatest deal in gaming, and Sony PlayStation Plus is all right. You get a handful of games free every month. So the console war rages on, I guess. Is what I'll end with on that statement. Yeah. Let's talk about Ori some. We'll start with the first one, Cohh, because you just finished a playthrough of it.
Yeah.
How was your first time playing Ori?
Yeah, I played Ori like an hour or two when I played it the first time, and it was okay, but I didn't really get into it. I had other stuff I was doing. And then I came back to it last week and beginning to edit it on hard difficulty, and it was a lot of fun. It's a very beautiful game, very emotional. Some of the better music I've heard in a long time. Surprisingly hard on hard difficulty. Like most things can one shot you. A lot of enemies can one shot you. Most like the spike traps and things one shot you. There's some very challenging platforming parts. But overall, it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time with it, and yeah, I mean, I understand now after playing it why everyone wanted me to play it so badly.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't
had a really
played,
good time with it.
This game came out 5 years ago, I think, right? Is that
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. So it's been a long time since I've seen this at all. But the mechanics, to kind of compare the two games, I guess we can kind of talk about Ori 2 a little bit. They're pretty different. I think you're most equipped because you just played Ori 1. So yeah, what are the major differences there? And also, well, I have a follow-up to that. Go ahead and answer that first question.
Ori 2 is significantly easier than Ori 1. And that's because in a lot of ways, I feel Ori 1 was it was designed to be hard. In some cases, like, you know, like for instance, in Ori 1, you hit a spike wall, you're probably going to die. If you lose health, unless you get the rare health pickup, you're going to have that lost health just the whole time. And then again, most things, especially on hard difficulty, can nearly one-shot you. So it's very, very difficult. Also, the fact that you have to spend energy to save reduces, you know, that just even further. Ori, also the combat is a little bit weirder in Ori 1 because you only have like the little blast from your thing. There's not really a combat system. It's more of just some attacks that you can do, and then you can kind of fast dodge left and right. Ori 2, on the other hand, a lot more customization with the passive perk system that is a la Hollow Knight, very similar to Hollow Knight. There is an actual combat system in Ori 2 with combos, up attacks. You can knock enemies into the air, like all sorts. You get like the hammers and different abilities. Like there is a from the ground up, fundamentally better designed combat system in Ori 2. And then on top of that, you have powers like regen. You've got like a range attack. You've got all sorts of really helpful things. And you have autosave. Also, energy respawns a lot quicker in Ori 2. So if you're having an issue where it's like, man, I need to get some more energy, you just backtrack a little bit to the last energy thing, and 9 times out of 10, it's just sitting there ready for you to get it again. So it feels like Ori 2 is not only better designed in terms of the combat itself, just more and more options and more kind of versatility. But at the same time, it's with the regen and everything, it's a lot less punishing if you make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm a little this is muted. I'm a little bit further in the game and difficulty wise, like I agree. I don't where did you play it this morning or did you play RimWorld? Are you still at the same point?
I played it this morning.
Okay.
I got I basically slight spoilery. Talked to Frog Bro, did all the stuff there, went back to Frog Bro, and I'm moving through the right area as you go by him.
Do you know if you passed the embargo area?
I didn't do anything pre-embargo, so I don't know what the embargoes are.
Now we're gonna have to talk. Did Shriek show up?
I think he just did in my game. In my game, spoilery. I just met up with Owlbro.
Oh man, you stopped at the worst point, man. You should have kept playing for like 5 minutes.
Oh, wait a second. Oh. Now here's what's funny. I was going through the area before that, and people were like, and then I quit to play RimWorld, and people were like, no, play 5 more minutes, And I was like, fine, okay, I'll play 5 more minutes. And then I played 5 more minutes, and I got Owlbro, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I went to play RimWorld. So you're saying I should have played a few more minutes?
Yeah, the embargo is no longer active, but the embargo is like 5 minutes past that. There's a cutscene that happens where like embargo-worthy things occur. that are very crazy impactful. At least for me, they were.
Well, even though my next live stream is Friday, because I am my first scheduled day off like ever is tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing Neo 2 on Friday. I am definitely going to be planning. I'm definitely going to be returning to Ori 2. Probably over the weekend at some point. It's a fantastic game.
Yes.
And even though I've been looking forward to Neo 2 for like years, I'm probably gonna do like split streams with it until I get it done at least.
Yeah.
No, this is the second one, right?
This is Ori 2, yeah.
This is Ori 2.
I just died. But it's very fucking good. I'm probably about 4 hours from this. I can show a little bit of the footage from that, but there is a very defined quest. Like it goes kind of, it's hard to talk about without spoiling stuff. Things happen to where you're set on a direct path, and you're kind of doing what most games do in this regard, where it's like, oh, you must go get these amount of things so that a thing can happen, that type of shit. And so it's a little bit different in that regard, but you can choose where you want to go. And it is the type of thing, I was talking about this yesterday on Court of Swords, and I'll repeat it. It's the type of thing, Ori 2 is, when you find secrets in this game, it's like you're the first person to discover them. And the idea of finding secrets feels great. And there are a few games that I think can capture that, where it doesn't feel like the developers were leading you there. Like in this game, it truly feels like, oh, I found this one thing. I wonder how many other people have seen that, because it was a little bit obscure. Like, or maybe I brute forced my way over there because I have a triple jump and some players don't have a triple jump at this point. Like there's always that type of thought process, because you can kind of decide what skills you want to buy, which I guess
kind of funny.
We haven't talked about yet, but yeah, go ahead.
Because this area you're in now, I'm pretty sure I got into it a lot earlier than I was supposed to, because I jumped, dashed, jumped, still couldn't make it, and I had triple jump at that point.
Yeah.
And I did the up hit on the hammer.
Yep.
And fell into spikes, which I was then able to hop out of to where I needed to be.
Yep.
And right when I got there, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not supposed to, like, that's not right. that's not right.
That's happened a lot to me. And it's the type of thing where the developers have to know that stuff, right? Like they would have to know that you could do that type of stuff. Otherwise they wouldn't allow it. So I don't know. There was one thing.
I wouldn't say that, but I'll never forget Dark Souls 3. When that remember that Dark Souls 3 thing?
Yeah, those are two different developers completely. You can't control that. I know what you're saying, but yeah. And for those that weren't around for that, Dark Souls 3, where there was a huge kerfluffle with the embargo when it came out, and when we finally got our hands on it, a few of us, myself included, found a way to bypass the embargo fight. So I ended up streaming past the embargo for almost 3 hours before one of the reps dropped in chat and was like, turn off your stream now. Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. Yeah. Whoops.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chad was saying that I had a straight up sequence break. I was texting you about that yesterday.
Yeah. Which one was that?
So it's right where you're at. There's a thing that
Oh.
happens, and you're kind of, you get forced to an area, and so the way that I play these games or approach these games is like, I'm going to go back to that area because there's probably something in that area that I can get that if I move on, I won't go back to it. So I went back to that area and did the hammer jump that gives you a little bit more jump, and got out of a pretty major like cutscene scripted area that gives you a thing that makes you able to progress in the game. And like my controller just stopped taking inputs, and like mobs were walking around me and fighting, and I just couldn't react. I couldn't do anything. And so I had to find like, the latest save. Well, I guess that's one thing to talk about. The game has like backup saves. So if you do want to go back, or if you have an issue where I have, you can find saves because it's constantly auto saving. You can go back, 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever and redo that area. Cool. So that type of stuff is cool for sure. But yeah, drop dead gorgeous game. Handles amazing. Like it's exactly what you want from a platformer, in terms of how it feels. And yeah, it's just all around a fantastic fucking game. I'm really excited to get back to it and potentially finish it today. I think I'm
a music man. Oh my God.
The music is so good. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Like I said on stream today, like, the areas are beautiful and everything. And I'd love to go there, but I want to go on vacation to the music. I want to go wherever that music plays. And that's where I want to like go on vacation to. Like there is music in that game that rivals some of the better Disney music I've ever heard. Like for their movies. I mean, it is really, really good.
Yeah.
Like my Lord, man. Whew.
Here's a little bit of like later game stuff just to show the different types of gameplay that can occur, and things that you can do.
That's what that stuff is.
Yeah.
I knew there was something with it. Okay.
At this point in the game, at the point where I'm in the game, like 60% of the way through, I have a triple jump, a dash, a hammer, and it's all on different buttons. And so I don't know if it's happened to you, Cohh, but for me, I'll get to a point in the game where it's like, all right, I need to do this in this way by pressing these buttons. Wait a minute, which button does that? Like I forget what buttons I should be pressing.
It took me a good 15 minutes to like break the muscle memory of Y for the redirect thing. Like instead of LB, like, oh my Lord. And so many times, even today, I was mistaking that every so often because I just came off Ori 1 doing it for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of stuff like that. Lots of stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's good. I don't know. Anything else to say about Ori 2? I'll change scenes so chat stops.
I think it's great. I think we can talk more about it when we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably a good thing. We'll talk about it next week when we finish it. Zeke, what's been going on in your neck of the woods gameplay wise? Just more Persona, right?
Yeah, man. Just kicking ass, taking names in Persona. I fell into a trap that I often fall into. Well, it's not a trap necessarily, but you forget certain things because you don't want to remember them about like certain types of games, certain genres of games. But
okay.
So I was broadcasting on Sunday, and I got to the end of my normal 8-hour broadcast, and I was like, all right, tell you what, we're gonna face this boss one time, and we're gonna die, and then we're gonna just save it for I'll beat him next broadcast. Well, the boss fight ended up being about, I don't know, 25 minutes, something like that. It's just a lot of, I mean, it's just damage sponge, different stages of the fight and stuff like that. So I ended up beating him the first time I faced him. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we beat it. Not realizing like, oh, that's right. After a boss fight in Persona games, you buckle up because grab a drink, grab some popcorn, because you got about a fucking hour's worth of shit before you can even save it.
Yeah.
So I forgot that. What I should have done was cut off before the boss. I didn't know it was going to be the boss fight the first time I saw it because that hasn't happened yet. But it happened, and I was like, all right, well, as soon as we get a save point, we'll shut off for the day. And then by the time I was done with it, it was like I had been broadcasting for like 11 hours. I'm just like, Jesus, God. Because not only do they go, it's so crazy because it's so very Japanese, it's very Persona that, hey, we beat this boss. All this actual like plot stuff happens. But you know what we're going to fucking just non sequitur segue into? Omelet making competition. Yeah, you're fucking right. We're all going to make some omelets for Nanako to taste and see which one she likes best. Because that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Total fucking sense. It's like, we just captured this, or we saved this guy. We thought he was a murderer. Maybe he is still the murderer. Anybody hungry on omelets? You know what? We should have a contest and let the 7-year-old kid decide who's his best. Sure, why not? It's just like, oh, God, I love you so much, but sometimes I hate you, especially when it's been 10 hours and I want to go to bed.
Right.
Or I want to get food. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm going to try not to make that same mistake again because I feel like I did miss something like Persona 5 when I played all the way through it. I feel like I missed, like, I didn't skip any dialogue. I didn't speed through it, but I feel like I missed some shit mentally because when I beat Persona 5, there was still like 2-3 hours of content left as far as cutscenes and dialogue and shit like that. And I was already fucking done with the game.
Yeah.
What I should have done was just stopped and came back and then did the wrap up, like the epilogue stream, rather than try and push through it. So, but other than that, like Adam and I were talking about it yesterday during Court of Swords, but the Persona games have a great sense of, I'm sick of this dungeon. I wish it was, oh, it's over. Oh, good. Or vice versa, like, man, I'm sick of doing this fucking social links and these, God, I want some action. Oh, it's time for action. Oh, good. It has a good, like, space out in between, like, the story moments and the JRPG moments of the game. The actual, like, battles and dungeons and that kind of shit. So it does a good job with pacing, yes. I will say, like, I remember the feeling when Black Hole Sun came out by Soundgarden, and I was like, man, I fucking love this song. I'm gonna listen to it a lot. Okay, I've listened. It's enough. That's enough. Oh God, please stop playing it. Please stop. God, please. And that's this song. The song in the fucking Velvet Room. It's just like, God, God, please. It's beautiful. I used to like it, but Jesus, God.
I can see that.
It's like in my brain now. And the thing is, it's the same song, P4, P5.
Yeah.
The Velvet Room is the same exact fucking song. And you spend so much time in here doing personas and like doing fusions and shit like that. And if you're like me, you kind of torture yourself over the persona, like, I can make this guy with like 6 different ways, but what abilities do I want to give him? Am I even going to use them? Like, do I care? And it's just like this back and forth in your fucking head going like, maybe they're just like fusion fodder, which means you give them an ability that they're only there to pass on to the next iteration or whatever. But I will say, I got Black Frost. And if you know Persona, like, that took 5 different personas I had to get. Fusion, like, fused 5 personas together to make one persona. Black Frost. There it is. Oh, this is me making it. I'm actually making it right now. That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But you see all those 5 personas. I had to get all those 5 personas. Got them all. And Black Frost is the fucking man. He is like God. Persona A #1 primary just destroys everything. Like the first time I used like the mind charge, which doubles your next magic attack, and he's got fire boost, and we got fire. Like I got a fire trinket on my character. It's like people mostly do between like I don't know if they're not resistant to it. It's like 70 to 100 damage. First time I did 1,700 damage with this motherfucking guy, I was just like melted. I was like, okay, but yeah. So
wait, how far are
I
you
could
through the game now? You think?
But I don't know actually, but by my estimate, I'm guessing like just a little over halfway, judging by the social links, because I try to keep them pretty even. So like most of my social links are between 4 and 6 out of 10, I think.
Are there more Persona like Black Frost you can get for like other people? Like is this kind of like have you gotten like the best basically halfway through the game?
Oh no, not even close.
Okay.
There's personas that are like Trumpeter, which is basically like you take all of the angel personas, and half of the angel personas, even more than half, I'm not even high enough level to get yet.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
awesome.
there's a lot more. I think I'm like around 60%. It was if I had to guess.
Cool. And you're still loving it?
Absolutely. It's one of those games where it's like if the Persona game, it's one thing, then the next thing. You got the next thing. It's very much like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, it keeps you going. There's constantly stuff to do. And it's quick stuff. You like do it, done, next thing.
Cool.
And also it's there's a lot of funny moments, and I'm really enjoying playing it on stream with chat and just bagging on Eddie and Yosuke, just talking shit, picking who our favorite people are, who we're gonna marry, who we hate, who we wish would die, like that kind of shit. It's fun to see like people's where their allegiances lie for people who have played the game before or people who are just joining me on the journey. And people like the father figure, which is Dojima.
Yes.
He is my uncle who I live with, and he has the 7-year-old daughter that he just completely neglects and is like the worst, like terrible father. And people still are like, he's the best. I'm like, did you see? Like Nanako, like his daughter was like deathly ill, and he answered his phone and fucking left. He left. Sure, you're a detective, but like,
I love deadbeat
your
dad.
family's got to come before your job. I mean, especially if she's fucking dying or something. He honestly said, he was like, "Hey, can you stay with Nebraska because there's medicine in the fridge. I gotta go." I'm just like, I'm a high school kid. I'm not a dad. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
he I'm curious to get your opinion on him at the end of the game.
Okay. That's what people are saying. Like,
yeah.
Wait, he gets super awesome and badass, and then I'm like,
yeah.
He's gonna have to like save like cure world hunger or something to make up for.
Hey, I mean, it's a Persona game. He might just do that. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Persona 4 is good.
Are we continuing that tomorrow at noon?
Awesome.
Pacific.
I'm getting a little bit nervous for my Persona 5 Royal run, whatever that. I think that's going to happen in April. Because like watching you get through this and you're 68 hours in and you're like, yeah, I'm 60% of the way through. It's like, fuck.
You forget.
It'd be a good thing though. If you're having a good time and you're still at that mark, and it's like, oh man, I got another 50 hours of this. Like,
yeah. It's the type of thing though, where as a streamer, like if you miss a day or you don't stream an amount of hours a day, then you add that, for at least I do. Then you add that to like, fuck, we got like, I only streamed like 6 hours. I could have done 8 today and like knocked a little bit more into this Persona. That means I'm going to be pushing this maybe 2 extra days than I was expecting. That type of stuff for sure. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, I'm glad you're having fun with Persona 4. It's a good game for sure. We'll do like tad bit of breaking news. I have one Twitch related thing, so we'll kind of loop this in. I saw you and Dan talking about emotes are like immediate now. What's going on?
Yes, I just confirmed it 2 times in a row with 2 different sets. So this is a streamer thing. If you're a streamer, you'll feel this pain. So what has been Twitch mantra for basically since I've started on Twitch, since they implemented the we're able to change emotes thing. Whenever you cancel or delete an emote, the server hangs on to it for anywhere between like 10 and 30 minutes. So basically, like right now, I just put in a bunch of new Neo emotes. What I normally have to do is delete all the old emotes, like wait between 10 and 30 minutes, and every like 5 minutes, try to submit it and see if we get an error over and over. And I just confirmed doing 2 different times that the second you delete an emote, you can then upload a new one right behind it. Again, it seems like a small thing, but when you don't have a lot of time to just like sit around and wait for things to free up, and sometimes it can take more than 30 minutes. Like it had something to do with the servers propagating and detecting everything, and there were multiple servers and they all had to come back as go, or I don't know what it was. But needless to say, now it seems like it's instant. And that is awesome. All they have to do now is add batch, upload, and delete, and we're set.
Oh God, that'd be incredible.
That's all we could need.
Yeah.
And for those of you wondering, or actually, I guess I'll ask, you're talking about if you have the same emote code, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
And you want to replace.
So like,
yeah.
So a lot of us these days now do themed emotes, like JP has Ori emotes right now. I just uploaded a bunch of Neo 2 emotes for Friday. And I just deleted like 8, 10 emotes and then instantly uploaded the new 10. And it basically immediately took. It also showed up in chat a lot faster than normal. So I think not only have they improved the back end, but it looks like the front end to the viewer has also been sped up.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good change. Let's talk about a shit change or a shit thing. Shannon, have you guys seen this? Shannon, Zed Killer, Sacril's, friend of the show. She is her own entity. I'll say that much.
And
she's
Zed
awesome.
Killer.
Yes, Zed. Sorry, you're correct. She tweeted this yesterday.
This blew my mind.
This is kind of crazy. So apparently there's a channel called Release Day, and it's a Twitch sanctioned channel that I guess just randomly pulls streams to it and restreams them like fully. And I think they're front paging this channel called twitch.tv/release day. It's got 10,000 viewers, and I think the person that they're currently capturing on stream does not get anywhere near that. I don't know too much about them as a individual, but it's a little bit weird.
There's multiple things here that are really messed up. First of all, if you think about it, this Release Day channel is basically taking the views that would normally be on the channel that's there. Second, any ads or anything run on that Release Day channel is all going to Twitch instead of the person that they're actually watching. Third of all, there doesn't seem to be any permission being asked about people being able to be streamed on there. Fourth of all, it is putting that channel, because it's front paged, most likely above the channels that it's showcasing, which immediately is getting less viewers to them. Fifth of all, the person that's on there right now is a person that faked having cancer and was banned off the service.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
I don't know who that streamer is. I just learned that from the replies in Shannon's tweet. So nice. I don't know the history or back end, but they were saying that apparently the person that was showcased was or one of the many people showcased was somebody who was like either not on the service anymore, and I saw faking cancer and it sounded terrible. But yeah, for the record, I don't know the details of that. I don't even know the name of the person.
Yeah.
I definitely look at the tweet thread if you're interested.
Yeah.
Just wondering if they're not on the service, how are they being restreamed?
That's the thing. Like maybe it's VOD footage. Like we don't. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see if I can find the exact tweet here.
Okay.
Anymore.
Yeah. It's apparently it's offline now. I don't know if that means that they're just not broadcasting it because it's not necessarily Release Day anymore. Because this came out. Call of Duty came out yesterday. I guess today would be potentially Ori streams. If
why
they're
would they
going with release days? But yeah.
My question is, why would they do a restream, which takes viewers away from broadcasters, and not just do like a rotating post on the front page?
Because then I think maybe you have to contact. I mean, I think because then you have to this is a shitty way of saying it, but you have to contact the streamer then, right? And say, hey, we're gonna front page you, or you get a stream at this time. With this thing, they can just be like, hey, this guy's streaming. Let's throw him in there. Done.
Yet the exact line is the final straw from this was featuring a streamer who was proven to have faked having cancer.
Jeez. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know who that was, but holy shit.
Jeez.
That is next level yikes. Yeah. Wow.
Well, but I guess I'm still not. I guess I might be dense or something and not getting it. Explain the argument against rotating host again.
It's literally adding steps into the program where they don't have to add steps. Here they just restream someone. Done. You don't talk to them. You don't do anything. It's just done.
What they would need, what a rotating host in that case would essentially just be like rotating the front page slot, which they already do to their credit. Like Twitch will frequently put smaller channels in front page rotation, as they call it, and it just
but this is
that exact channel on. This is completely different because they made a new channel, which then all of the income followers and stuff go to that channel, and then inside that channel is where they're actually just via the broadcast putting other people's streams on that. So yeah, if you were to host somebody, you couldn't run ads on it. You wouldn't get followers on your channel because you'd be like pushing them to the actual channel. So it was very weird. And like the whole thing seems very odd. Like, why would they do that? But maybe it was a test, but then why wouldn't they talk about it being a test? I don't know. Weird.
Okay, maybe I'm this is like a Twitch affiliated channel.
Twitch official channel. Right? Twitch owns this channel. Okay. It's not a
that seems like
it's Twitch doing this, like 100%.
What's even weirder,
they don't ask permission of the people they restream, or do they?
Not to my knowledge, not to our knowledge. Again,
that seems like a huge oversight.
Totally, yeah.
Release day. We are an official Twitch channel that promotes day one streamers of new games. Discover your community and hit that follow button or go live for a chance to be featured. Here's what's messed up. Now, I don't know if Twitch realizes this. Positioning on Twitch, how smaller streamers get larger is when they get that giant influx of new viewers and followers. Most of that happens on day one release days, or shortly after when the bigger streamers have left and the smaller streamers then get a chance at all the viewers that want to keep watching that game. By making a release day channel, they are essentially inserting themselves in one of the biggest mechanisms that makes a smaller streamer a larger streamer. They are literally hamstringing that process with this channel. And that's insanity. Like I'm baffled that they even thought this was a decent idea.
Yeah.
Because they're literally stifling growth on streamers that potentially could explode from it. Because think about this. The most viewers on these day one streams for release games are the top one. So if this channel gets in the top spot of one of these release day things and it's just cycling through all the lower channels, it's literally just pooping all over them. Like it's just ruining the chance for them to get like that big up, which and my channel is so big because I got so many of those small ups on release days. If something like this was around, like it would have been half as, I mean, it arguably could have been much slower. And that goes for everybody under them. Anyone under this channel, that's even people that aren't on it are getting potentially like screwed in some way or another.
Yeah. It seems
why,
to me
the real question is why are they doing it? Like, are they trying to farm ad revenue? Like I'm curious.
I mean, it's
are they gonna do this for every release?
It's a thing, I guess, that they could point to like developers who said like, hey, we can feature you on this release day stream or something like that. I think it would be interesting to see that for games not Call of Duty that have, the top stream with 75 or however many fucking people were watching yesterday. On like a smaller release game like a Neo or a Ori, where the big streamers, the Tims, the Docs, and all them don't even touch those games. I'd be curious to see how that goes.
To be fair, those are the games that got me my jump. Was exactly the smaller games that viewers wanted to watch that the bigger streamers were avoiding. That's what I'm saying. That's where most streamers grow, especially variety streamers.
Yeah. I'd love to see how that works there.
That's their bread and butter.
But it definitely seems like a channel. I don't even want to call it a program. We don't even know what it is for Twitch. I guess it's just a channel. It seems like a channel that's hatched too early, because like if they could somehow feature put the video player for the person's stream there on /release day, but it also is playing the video player of that stream on the front page. There's ways that they could do it where it would be successful, but they didn't want to do the extra work for sure.
Because this is a Twitch channel, they could do all sorts of things to make it super interesting. Like, for instance, what if they made it when you follow that channel, it automatically follows the channel of whoever's on the screen at that time?
Exactly. Yeah. Tie-ins
Or
like
whenever
that.
an ad plays, a portion of that ad goes to the streamer on that channel too.
Totally.
Like, there's lots of ways that they could make this channel be something really, really cool. But from the looks of it, it's just a normal channel. And in that case, it's actually really, really bad for everyone under it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What if whenever they switch channels, it would auto raid to that person? So it's like it would be on the front page, farm up thousands of viewers, and then when it switches to another streamer, it would dump those thousands of viewers on the person they were just showcasing, go back to the front page, get a whole bunch of new viewers for the next person. Like, they could make it a conveyor belt of awesomeness if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And actually turn it from hurting to helping everyone under it.
You know what? It's an interesting thing. Do you remember when Mixer first launched how, and I think they still have that channel, the Hype Zone channel? Do you remember that?
Mhm.
I wonder if this is their like attempt at mimicking the Hype Zone. Because it was pretty funny. I remember when the Hype Zone launched, we were like, oh yeah, we were pretty positive about it years ago. But I'm trying to remember.
But was it its own channel?
I think it was. It's been so long since. I have no idea what that thing was, to be honest. I just remember it
Wait a
existing.
second. That was the channel that only showed like the end of BRs and stuff, right?
Yeah, like it would
Is
find
that one?
yes. It would find games like that were
I
close
feel
to
like
the
that's a
end.
little bit different. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a little bit different. And also, I thought there was some mechanic that would then move them to that screen.
That I don't
It's been a
remember.
while. It's been a while.
I have
It's
no
been a
idea.
while. Yeah.
But I do wonder, like,
What if it's still around? It was just called
Chat's-
Hype Zone, right?
Chat's saying it is.
Hype
Yeah.
Zone.
Chat's saying it still exists. So
Is Mixer still around? Is it still?
oh god. My favorite tweet of the past week, by the way, was when Doc tweeted that Mixer had 5K viewers on the entire site. That I was laughing.
As somebody who, as you guys know, follow all the metrics of different services, it has not been a good few months for Mixer.
It's rough.
Or really anyone on it.
Yeah.
That cares about their metrics
Yeah.
to a big degree.
Anyways, yeah. I don't know what this release day shit is. It's fucking weird. I don't know. I think there's a bunch of ways that it could go. They can continue just doing what it is. They could actually make some changes on it. Or they could just shut it down. We'll see. It definitely seems like a publisher initiative, though, where Twitch would be able to say, like, hey, look what we can do for your new indie game or something like that. Like less prominent titles than Call of Duty, the most, probably the biggest IP in video games today, where it just seems a little bit weird for sure. So, Coh's gone. He touched his glasses. All right, he's back.
Oh God, I was like,
yeah.
fuck just happened
I
to
was
him?
very nervous that. Well, we're due for a break, so we'll leave on that note. We'll come back, talk a little bit about. I guess we can talk about RimWorld. I don't know. What else do we have to talk about?
I don't want to talk about RimWorld.
I've got more indie games to talk about.
Oh, we'll do an Indie Sunday. We can talk about that for sure.
Yep.
I
I don't know where we left off, but I think I probably have.
You got like 2 or 3.
I have at least 2,
Yeah.
if not 3. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit about PoE. I haven't really been following it that much, so I don't know how much we can really say. And I'm sure I don't know where Coh's at. But we'll figure it out. We'll take a break. We'll come back after the break and talk more about games then. So we'll see you guys then. Be right back.